Hey guys, it's Cam here, about to do my walkthrough on Logic Pro X, the latest version. First off, I kind of wanted to start off with a question for anybody else. I'm currently using OBS. For anybody else that might be using OBS, I am trying to record my DAW, which is Logic, through it, and I downloaded Soundflower, but it seems that I can't both listen to it with headphones directly from the computer and also have it properly record the audio of it through Soundflower without having an external multi-output input and output interface, like a physical one. So if anybody is like really good with OBS and might know some shortcuts to make that easier, I was thinking about trying to do it with a bus on Logic. That'd be really helpful. But anyway, I'm just going to be recording through having it directly come from out of the laptop and then back into the laptop. So the quality might not be great, but that's okay for this. So I am using Logic Pro X. Show you what the situation is here. This is pretty much all I need to know. 10.4.4, that's the version I'm using, which I think is the most updated one. I can set up general audio recording, any kind of preferences here. Right now, since I'm not trying to do the Soundflower or an aggregate device, since I was saying that wasn't working, I'm just using my built-in output and input. Since I want to use my MIDI, so I can't use my Scarlett interface, since I'd rather use the MIDI for beat making. But I can also check out the situation here. But yeah, I started a new track. I just added one audio file. I'm gonna add an external MIDI one also to start. So here you can see, I guess if I zoomed in, it'll show them all. This is the beat count down here. These are your measures. I have it in 4/4 at 120. I can change that later. I can either adjust up here or using two fingers and pinching to make that wider or shorter. I usually like to have it around here-ish, unless I need to zoom in. And then also I can adjust this using this. I guess I will just kind of start off so we have something to work with here. Actually, I don't want to make a MIDI file. I just want to use a software instrument. Easier. Can start with, there's some cool already built-in ones with Logic. It's got like a solid amount of options. I just got it, so I haven't downloaded all that many. But it's got a good amount to work with from the beginning. You can obviously get more, and then I'll go into that more in depth. But I'm just gonna use one of the basic drum machines. Let's see. So right now I'm using my MIDI to show these, but if you do Command K, it pops up the musical typing keyboard if you don't have a MIDI. Shows up like a keyboard or like that. Shows up like an actual keyboard. But you could also get there by going to Window, Show Keyboard shows this, and then Show Musical Typing shows this one. But you can also switch those from right here. So we can just go through and listen. It's hard to tell. The basses all sound so bad. that'll work. I think. Oh, you know what? I think I like that a little bit better. It's hard to tell without headphones in what these basses actually sound like because the computer itself has absolutely no bass. But let's just do something simple here. So I can press R on my keyboard or up here to record. It's already ready to record. Situation, I can set up a loop for how many bars I want, wherever I want. That's what this yellow frame up here does. So I'm going to set it for 4 bars. Here we go. So the timing of that wasn't perfect, obviously. But one of the things that I'm supposed to explain to you is, I believe, how to, quantize this. So you can one by one individually adjust it so it clicks to, so they are where they need to be. Or you can, if you want it to just automatically go to whatever the closest subdivision of the beat, depending on what you set this at, it'll automatically do it. As you saw, they'll just shift it a little bit. See, now that's on. Oh, I have them both up too early. There we go. So that's something to work with. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, I can start and stop using, or start and pause, I guess, using the space bar. But if I have the loop on, and I press that space bar after I pause it, it'll automatically go back to the beginning of the loop. It's something to remember. Also, I can jump ahead beats using little arrow keys here, or I guess right now measures. Can jump ahead measures. Can adjust the playhead up here. I guess we'll just keep making a beat here. I can keep doing all this stuff, individually making it. I think these are preset. Yeah, those are preset drums. You got a bunch of different options. This is something that I think there's a similar situation to also in GarageBand. Something that Apple likes to do. They're nice to listen to sometimes for reference, or if I just want to throw something really quick in and I don't like the samples I already have. See, this is awesome stuff I recently downloaded. So I popped over to a folder of something I got a sample pack of online for free, and I can listen to what I got to work with. I gotta organize these later, but you know, this will help. Nice. So that's, since I don't really feel like doing all that much by myself, I'm gonna throw that in here. I don't love that bass hit with that, but that oh, I guess it's because I already threw it in. I threw it in here, and this is already set up. But let's see. Wait, that might have. Oh, 60. Okay. It's 2 bars at 60, and I'm at 120. So that already worked. But if it wasn't to have already, say I was at 140. See how it kind of went over and this doesn't really work out so well. So to fix that and adjust this sample that I got here to click in with my timing, I can, I don't know if it's under track or edit, go to time stretch, and I can time stretch it to the nearest bar, which is not going to be good because that's going to put it at the end of the fifth bar, right up to 6. Or I could do it to the locators, which since I've set up the loop, that's where it's considering the locators are at. Just in case, sometimes I like to set this at one of them, beginning or like here. But I can also do that by going Alt Command B for the bar and Alt Command L for the locator. This one isn't using pitch really, but you can also, it also asks this for if you're adjusting pitch of an audio track. But yes, and then now both are adjusted. You know what, I was gonna leave it at 120 because I kind of like the way it sounded at 120, but I like the energy of this. It's getting pretty late, so I'll keep it at 140. It's kind of fun. It's really fast, but it's fun. So I can also add some hi-hats, but first I think I'm gonna show you some stuff on what I can do with this. First off, if I only wanted half of this, I can press Command T and it'll cut that right there. So, I mean, if I wanted to shorten that and just listen to that first half, I'll just do that too. But if I like the second half, what I put here for the bass, copy with Command C and Command V, I can paste it right there. I want to go back to the first one there. Kind of want to mess around with something. Oops. So just pressing Command T. Kind of wanted to try something here. I don't know why I did that. That wasn't necessary. I don't like the sound of that bass hit, so I can go into it and I can mess with. So this is what they already had set up on their electro bump option. So I can directly go in, affect the EQ. It's not on. There we go. See the highs, you can hear the high in that now. Take down the high, takes kind of some of that sound out. So on a lot of bass stuff, especially like unless I've got the like an 808 going though, but for the bass drum hits, I like to boost the bass, but I don't want to have the mids. The high, I like having some of that high, so it still sounds a little percussive, but I don't want the mids to be up very much because that's where your vocal range is going to be, and you want to keep that area clear. So that's a little bit better. I usually would rather like drop in some hi-hats because getting the timing of good hi-hats can kind of be hell. It's just such a like grueling process sometimes. At least I'm not very good at it. So it's like I end up spending half an hour plus on something that I can just drop in a couple minutes. But for the sake of showing some things that I kind of got to show, I'm going to record some of my own hi-hats. I might switch them out, but I'm at least going to start out by trying to do this. Let's see. Okay. That's pretty good. Cool. Here, I'm going to start recording, give myself time to jump in. Alright, it's like, whatever. But I just wanted to show some stuff here, so I'm not going to bother quantizing this. I normally would, though, but the thing is, yeah, you want, it's just the freaking triplets in this make it such an annoying process. And, hi-hat triplets, that's the thing. But I wanted to show the step editor, which is where this whole thing is just about editing the velocity on each of the notes. So, I don't want them to be like exact, but it's nice to have them kind of similar. So it's not like suddenly there's a really loud hi-hat, like high, just piercing your ear. But I don't like them having the exact same. Like, there's got to be some variety so the whole thing's not too machine-like. With my beats, I want stuff to be on time usually. Like, otherwise, it just, I don't know. It's kind of a mess. I'm not trying to recreate real drums. It's a different genre, but you can leave the velocity, like the volume, the attack of each thing. So it shows that number changing a little bit different. But if you want to just like, okay, a lot of these are a little bit too high for where I want them right now, I can just click and drag this across and it just like trims it. It's pretty fun. It's like a little game, like keep it pretty straight. So there, and then also that way you can kind of like draw a curve into it. It's just a much faster way than individually going through and changing all of them. Like that. So I don't know if you can hear it that well, but I'm panning to the right, panning to the left. So panning, changing the volume, the EQ, where it's being placed at. These are all ways you can kind of help each instrument find its own specific pocket, but I'm not really worried about this right now. You know, I want the percussion on the left and the musicality of it on the right. It's pretty cool. But I'm gonna put everything about center right now. Oh yeah, by the way, anybody that doesn't know, it says it right here. This is what Logic's piano roll looks like. It's down here. You can make it bigger, show it off. Obviously, it's that one thing. You can see the score of what I played. It's a nice way to adjust it, especially if I don't want to have to adjust it to being in triplets, but I want to adjust certain stuff to being triplets. You can write it in score if you know your music theory. In score form. That's pretty nice sometimes. But it can take so much longer. I mean, so again, I'm gonna Command C, Command V. Oh, whoops, just once. So I use the delete button to get rid of stuff, but you can also, let's see, if I wanted that back, I can do Command Z is the undo button for a lot of things Mac, pretty much everything Mac based, and since Logic Pro X is like a Mac software, you know, it's kind of the next level up from GarageBand. It uses the same controls as pretty much everything Mac. Let's see. Sure. So, let's see if I can remember how to get there. X. Can I just press X? Oh, it's just X. Alright. That's a shortcut to bring up the mixer, which is also right here. But I'm going to do that. There's a lot of really awesome stuff you can do on the mixer here. Just have one selected, move that. I can have a bunch selected, move all those. Some cool stuff. So you can create templates out of what your mixer looks like too. One of my favorite templates has like, I want to say like 16 different buses, and those you can kind of set stuff to. I'm gonna call this one verb. Nothing's using this one. I'm gonna create a Chrome verb use for this. Get rid of everything else. That's the only thing this can be used for. This is now bus 3. Send it to verb. Now I can listen to, let's see, I can change how much it's sending there. If I want to listen to this individually. See how it goes to the stereo out, because everything goes there. But I've now attached it to go here. And so I can have multiple things attached to go here, so instead of adding reverb on this specifically, if I'm fine with just a general one, I can have multiple things go into here and see how they sound. It's nice to create some different options to start with, so you don't have to put in all the time to creating a ton of different buses for all you want and attaching them all together with the respective instruments. You can just have like some general instruments you used attached to the whole bus setup already ready, and you can save those as templates. New from templates. I can create something from a template. You can save a template. So I created this new classic electric piano right here. But I don't actually want this to be a classic electric piano. I want to use Ultra Beat. Um, Also, I can make Ultra Beat have multiple outputs, so I can individually separate snare from bass from whatever. Um, Go to the drum kits that Logic offers right here. But they have a drag and drop samples one. Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna use any of these. Let's see. I think I liked this one. Forget where I'm supposed to drop it to. Oh, it's right there. I can play. So that's the snap when I put it into here with these effects on it. I can have it play in reverse. Let's see. Scooch these up so it happens faster. But anyway, you can drop any samples you want in here and use Ultra Beats setup to manipulate it, which is really nice. If you get pretty used to Ultra Beat, then you can manipulate it however you want. Actually, I kind of changed my mind. I think I'm going to use the reverse snap sound, at least one of them, on this Ultra Beat. Since I have to show automation, um, I'm just use that once. There we go. But I was going to show automation right here. Also Command Y, I think. Yeah, like volume automation right here. So instead of me like having to record myself adjusting it, or every single time I play it adjusting the volume of something to help it build more, or whatever I want to do, I could kind of do that. I'm selecting different points here. I can drag the whole like line. I'm just gonna kind of give this a little bit of a build. Actually, I'm gonna have it start off decent, drop for a sec, and then build a bunch. So you can kind of see how it did that. Let's see, once I hop out of it. Look at how this adjusts. So it does it for me, which is the best part about that. Command E is going to bring up the export, or you can go to, I think, File, Export is an option. It has stuff about, oh, actually first, before I forget, I'm going to save it. Cool. Add. why you shouldn't do that much automation until later in the track, because it keeps asking me about it. It'd be so much better if I had a good 808 kick in, but that's still pretty cool. So I could, if say that was like I was working on the beginning of a song and that's what I had going, but I don't want to send the whole piece, or I don't want all these extra bars on certain programs will join along or whatever. I don't want all that to be in the file export. I only want just this loop here, just this 8-bar loop to be what I'm exporting. Well, easy fix. I just set the loop indicators around where around what I want to export. Yeah, say I wanted to airdrop it to myself. I mean, here you can directly send it to iTunes or SoundCloud. But I think I'm gonna airdrop this as an MP3 to myself. I can share as a project, which will be what is here. But I'm just airdropping the MP3, so I want it to look like that. So it's sending as a song. There I am. Cool. Got it. Projector section. I'm going to do projector section. And since I've got that one part going there, that's what it's going to do. As MP3, as project. Cool. So I'm sending it to my bounces. Bouncing. Offline is so much faster. And then, yeah, I'm just going to send this in. I think that's all I got for you here. If you got any questions, if I left anything out, let me know.